I'm Jennifer Livingston with Cardinal Realty, and today I'm going to talk to you about the purchase agreement process. So you've been out looking at homes and you found the home that you want to write an offer on. Now what do? What we'll do is we will draft a purchase agreement along with addendums. The purchase agreement will cover the price, closing date, any contingencies based on inspection, financing, and personal property. At that time, we will also look at homes that have sold in the area to come up with a price to offer, and we'll also know based on what you've looked at on what price we want to offer on this home. You'll need also some earnest money. What is the earnest money for? Earnest money lets the seller know that you're serious about buying the property. So the earnest money will get deposited into the listing agent's trust account. It's a non-interest bearing trust account. The earnest money will be put towards your down payment at closing. If there's any issues with the inspection, or if for some reason your financing were to fall through, you would also get your earnest money back. If you get cold feet and just change your mind after the contingencies have been removed, you will not get the earnest money back. That would go to the seller. So after we draft the purchase agreement and go over it, make sure you're comfortable with what we have, then that gets presented to the seller. The listing agent does the presentation to the seller. The seller then has three options. They can accept your offer the way that it is, they can reject the offer, or they can counter the offer. If they counter your offer, you would have the same option. You can accept their counter, reject their counter, or counter their counter. Sometimes this goes back and forth a couple times, but once we do come to terms, the next hurdle is your home inspection. So you want to get your home inspection done within the time frame allowed within the purchase agreement, which is something that we would talk about, but typically it's around 3 to 5 business days after the acceptance of the purchase agreement. Why do you need an inspection? Well, you want to have an inspection to learn about the property and make sure that there's not anything that we aren't seeing. You want to look at the furnace, air conditioner, water heater, all of your appliances, the roof, the foundation, the basement. They will check for all of that. You'll also get the full report with colored photos and all the information on the home. The home inspector will go through all of that with you to make sure that you're comfortable with the home that you're purchasing. And if you don't have a home inspector that you want to use, I definitely have some good referrals for you. It's very important to have a home inspection done to make sure you're comfortable with your home purchase and to see if there's any issues with the home that need to be addressed with the seller. If there are some issues that you find in the home inspection, then we would type that up on an amendment and present it to the seller. You would negotiate those issues with the seller then, and usually we can come to terms with that. What's the next step after the home inspection? Well, all the information will get sent to your loan officer and they'll start processing their paperwork. After the home inspection process, we then move on to the appraisal. So all the paperwork will be sent in to your lender, the purchase agreement, and they'll start their process. One of the hurdles that they have to cross is the appraisal. And the appraisal is done to make sure that the home is worth what you're buying it for. And we also want to make sure there's no work orders from the appraisal. Sometimes if there's peeling paint and the home was built before 1978, it could possibly be lead paint, so they want that scraped and repainted. I've also had it where they call for railings if there's missing railings so that someone weren't able to fall down the stairs. Sometimes that's interior or exterior stairs. So we're looking on the appraisal to make sure that the value comes in, that the home is worth what you're getting your financing for, and that there's not any work orders. If there are work orders or if the appraisal comes in low, then that gets negotiated with the seller. Once we have any appraisal issues wrapped up, then it goes on to the title work and we're moving to closing. I'm Jennifer Livingston with Cardinal Realty.